Jesus. What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Stack Sats Show. Woo! I was outside in the garden doing battle. I was battling with my hedges. And you start cutting a little bit, and next thing you know, you start cutting everything. Started cutting a bunch of stuff. So yeah, putting in work. Getting the place set up. I want to eventually get some chickens, so I can raise some chickens and get some eggs from my chickens. Pretty cool, huh? So that's the plan anyway. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Stack Sats Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. Am I even on? Let's take this on. Yeah. I didn't get the opportunity to share the stream because I got distracted by the hedges. But we're here. We're doing this. We're doing this live. We're doing it live. Oh my gosh. Let me just post this real quick, guys. I'm posting it to our different channels just so we can make sure that everybody sees that we actually are on today. This different schedules got me a little bit confused. It's hard to get used to. I feel like I get anxiety at 12:30 wondering that I missed the show, but nope. It's still here. It's still happening. All right. So let's get into the first segment of the show. Well, hopefully everybody trickles in, which we like to call the Sat Strength. Today, the price of Bitcoin is $64,117.79. You can buy 1,559 Satoshis for a single dollar. What the heck is a Satoshi? What up, Paul? Thanks for tuning in. A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents, a Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. So you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin all at once for $64,000. You can buy as much as you feel comfortable with. You can buy it in fractions. Okay, highly divisible, very affordable. Okay, again, you can stack 1,559 Satoshis for a single dollar today at the current price. So it's very affordable. Okay, let's say you're walking down the street minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day you'll have 15.6 Satoshis. When we started the show, we were getting about 39, 40 Satoshis for a single penny. Now we're getting just 15 Satoshis for a penny. That's pretty wild. All right. I forgot to put out the announcements today, Paul. So it's a little lonely in here, but thanks for tuning in. Also, with the schedule change, it threw me off. I got involved with a little recreational gardening. Oh my gosh. Oh, very cool. Awesome. Yeah, we had a whole discussion about it the next day. Some very good suggestions came up. Including, let's finish that up and we'll just kind of go into the regular. Some very good suggestions came up on that. On like, how do you gift your friend some Bitcoin if they're not quite ready yet, right? If you want them to have the Bitcoin, right? One suggestion that came up was that you kind of basically hold it for them. You tell them that you have it for them, and when they're ready, they can withdraw it, right? And you can transfer it over to them because that way you'll know that they set up their hardware wallet and all that good stuff, right? Another option was to gift them the hardware with the Bitcoin on it, but retain a copy of the seed phrase, right? Also give them a copy of the seed phrase, right? But if they lose it, then at least you have a way to help them recover it, right? And it also motivates them to maybe set up their own or redo the hardware wallet or set up a different wallet where they can then move that Bitcoin over. And then at that point, you're good to go because you know that they know how to do it. And then it's better that way, right? So you can tell them, hey, I'm going to give you this Bitcoin, but I am the counterparty risk because I have the keys to this wallet. So not your keys, not your cheese, right? Learn how to take this Bitcoin, how to use it, and how to move it to your own wallet that you have the keys for, and I don't. That way it's your cheese, not that was your keys and therefore your cheese. So that was a good way to look at it. Today, guys, we're just basically going to talk about, again, stacking more Bitcoin because it's on discount again. 64,000. I mean, it seems like on discount, right? But the people that are buying down low. Anyway, it hasn't dropped as much as it has in the past couple weeks, right? So, so it is kind of on discount. I gave him a cold card with BTC on it and kept a copy of the seed. That is perfect, Paul. That's exactly what I would have done, because that way you're like the insurance, right? And if they learn about it enough to move that Bitcoin to a different wallet with their own seed phrase, that's even better. That's like a win-win, right? So very cool. Very cool. Alrighty. So that said, let's jump into the Why We Stack segment. Why we stack. Okay, so yesterday I was doing my fishing live stream, and a couple of people jumped in there, and they heard me talk about Bitcoin for a little bit, and they asked if I was telling them something, if I was trying to convey a sign, and I was like, yes, I'm trying to convey a sign. The dollar's going to zero. Is that bright enough for you? Is that a bright enough sign for you? I told them, saving in Bitcoin is like going back in time and giving yourself a raise, a retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked, for as long as you can hold that Bitcoin that represents those hours you worked, right? So when you go back, when you work that extra overtime and you save that extra money into Bitcoin, it'll be like going back in time and working that extra hour overtime for a perpetually increasing salary, just for doing nothing else but holding it. Leonard says quail eggs are quieter than chickens. Oh, interesting. Never had quails. I don't even know if I like quail eggs. They seem pretty small. Well, do you eat them by the dozen? I'm gonna need a lot of quails. I think the chickens are only loud when they have a rooster, right? I don't know, actually. That's a pretty good question. I need to ask my friends. At this point, I have enough friends that have chickens. I think I just need to figure out the barter system for that, right? I just have to figure out, hey, man, let me get some of those eggs. I have to figure out what I can grow that maybe we can trade. Doing this old school. But anyways, that's what we stack, guys, because when you save in Bitcoin, your purchasing power goes up over time without having to do anything extra. All you gotta do is buy it, take it into self-custody, and live on with your life. That's it. Buy the Bitcoin, take self-custody of that Bitcoin, and do what you love. That's it. Right? And just sit on your hands. Don't touch the Bitcoin. Just we buy Bitcoin, we hodl Bitcoin. There is no sell. That's it. Okay? You're not when people tell you, well, aren't you gonna take profits? No. You're not gonna take profits. Well, how will I make money? You're not gonna make money. That money is melting ice cubes. That money is not real. That money is stealing from you. Okay? Look at it. We're well past $34.5 trillion in debt. The debt keeps going up. The faster and faster the debt climbs, the less and less purchasing power you have. And that's reflected in our stack. Right? Look. Since May 2023, based on the price of Bitcoin today, we've lost about 66% purchasing power today. Okay? Just in this year, we've lost 23% purchasing power against Bitcoin. Okay? So, all you had to do was take as much value as you want to save for the future and put it into Bitcoin. In this case, we put in $2,500. And 3 months later, it's worth $3,000. And we didn't have to do anything else. We didn't have to go rent our property. We didn't have to go learn a new job. We didn't have to go learn to become certified in something. We didn't have to go ask somebody permission to give us a license to do something. We didn't have to buy the Bitcoin and pay somebody in between. Yeah, we did pay fees for that, right? We did pay fees, but like 0.99% fees is not bad. So anyway, this is like, what else could you have done in the past 3 months that would have increased your purchasing power on that investment 23%? Right? I don't know. You tell me, because then you should start a show to tell people about that. Because if you can find something that's gonna give you better returns than that, then you're onto something. Okay, but it's gotta be legal. No funny business. Okay. All right. All right. So that is why we stack. Because if you're not stacking in dollars, if you're not stacking in sats and you're saving in dollars, you're straight up slacking. You're gonna be poor the rest of your life. You're probably gonna continue to be poor, and your descendants will be poor as well. But when you stack, you're stacking for yourself. You're stacking for your last name. You're stacking for your legacy. People down the road on your lineage are gonna say, "Wow, how did we get so wealthy?" And be like, "Well, it's because when Bitcoin first came out, one of our descendants was stacking like a goddamn psychopath, stacking like a stackopath, and making sure to secure our family's financial freedom." And anyway, that's enough for that. That's enough of that. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. If not, look it up. Whatever. All right. So in addition to talking about stacking sats, I'm having a really good week this week. My keto diet is going pretty good. It's just like an update. I know you probably don't even care, but whatever. It's a little update. I've been fishing a lot this week. It's pretty fun. Last weekend as well. My diet's going good. I'm down about 10 pounds. I went from 185.3 to 173.9. So I'm down 6.15%. I like the numbers, right? 6.15% down. I'm feeling strong. My shoulders a little messed up, right? But it's okay. The show here is growing. We're at 200 and something subscribers, which is pretty damn sick. Pretty damn awesome. Let's see. Where are we at? Let's check the subscriber count here. What the? We're at 200. Wow. Oh, no, sorry. I was like, we have 248 videos up, and I saw it said 248. I was like, what? How'd that happen? No, we're at 218 still. That's a lot of subscribers. We're at 218 subscribers. That means we're growing, slow and steady. And that's all that I'm asking for. Slow and steady growth. Slow and steady, we're going to be able to help more and more people understand that the dollar steals from them. And the best way to conserve the value of your savings, to grow your purchasing power, is by saving in Bitcoin. Okay? All right. How long have you been doing the diet? I've been doing the diet since, I would say, the week of 4, 10. So since about April 8th. From April 8th till now, I've lost about, a little bit over, like 11 pounds. Like maybe just shy of 11 pounds. But I'm in full keto mode. My mind feels a little bit clearer in my thought process, right? In jiu-jitsu, I feel like I don't feel like I'm lacking energy, but I don't feel as explosive as before, I guess. As much as explosive as a 43-year-old can be, right? But still, if I can slow down my opponent, and it's a battle of attrition, then I feel like I have energy reserves that I can slow burn longer than my opponent, which is actually pretty cool, because my energy is coming from ketones now instead of carbs. So I can gas out my opponent, let him go crazy, just do enough to keep him at bay. And once they burn through their carbs reserves, they're pretty much smoked. And I'm just getting started at that point, right? So it's been pretty cool. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be the right way to go with it, but so far so good. I'm feeling better. The weight loss, just at 10 pounds, I'm starting to notice like my belt. I have to do one more notch on my belt to make it tighter. Um, it's the weirdest things that you notice, right? The funniest things, like for example, when I put on my pants for my gi, my pants for my jiu-jitsu class, it's a drawstring. Okay, so the pants have loops, so it's like double loops, single loops, and then the strings come out of the pants right there. So you tie them up. I tie a bow, and I used to be able to barely put the bow ends through the first two belt loops, right? But now since I'm tightening that even more because my waist is thinner, I have to I have a bigger bow now that I can put the loops through the first loop and partially through the second loop. So it's like wow, it's like I've lost some inches there, right? And I think that's also helping me with my joints, just not having to carry that much more weight, right? So it's pretty good. Also, we've been kayak fishing like demons the past couple of days, the past couple of weeks. So I think I've done 4 kayak fishing sessions and not short sessions. One of my sessions was like 12 hours long, and my body's feeling that like in a good way, like it's a good workout. And at the end of each session, I have to like walk my heavy kayak down this path that it's normally like I would walk the kayak down the path and like set it down and take a 2 second, like a 30-second break, and then switch hands and then take it another, I don't know, 100 yards, and then set it down, take another 20-second break. But what I've been doing lately is I'm trying not to stop. So what I'll do is I'll switch hands as I'm walking, but I don't stop until I get to the car or until I get to the truck. And like yesterday, went fishing with Leonard, and I felt the burn, but I kept it going so I could get the whole burn all the way to the truck. And like, it's just gonna help make me stronger because I'm carrying a heavy thing. It's a really awkward weight, and it's you can't do it with both hands at once. So you gotta do it with one hand at a time. It's like really off balancing, and then you switch hands and you do it with the other side. I do it for like 10 steps each side, all the way until I get to the car. No stopping. And like by the time I get to the car, I'm like gassed a little bit, but still, it's like I think it's helping me for other things, lifting heavy stuff. Anyway, so slow and steady. The point of me sharing this whole story, guys. I'm not trying to flex on you guys. I'm just trying to gonna give you like some kind of inspiration, right? Like if you want to lose weight, you don't have to go lose weight all at once. Okay, if you want to start building a show, for example, something like this, you don't have to go and put out 100 episodes of something in one day. Right? If you want to try to lose weight, like I'm saying, you don't have to lose a whole pound a day or even a pound a week. You can start with half a pound a week, a quarter pound a week. Just maybe change something in your diet, a little tiny thing that's easy to do and that you can continue to do over and over again, right? It's about the long term, right? And I think this is what brings it back to me, right? I've always been kind of a long term thinker like that, but even more so with Bitcoin, right? That whole long time preference, right? Like it's easier now that I can see myself, I can see my savings growing. I can see myself becoming more prosperous, like in real time. Like my purchasing power is going up just by saving in Bitcoin, right? Like it makes it easier for me to understand and to put that time into a thing that might not yield the benefit you want right away. Okay? I've been getting into gardening, right? Gardening takes patience. You're not going to plant something that's going to come out the next day, right? There's no instant gratification there. You have to do a lot of work. You have to prep everything. You have to water it. You have to take care of the thing. And eventually you might get a result, right? Okay? So same thing, jiu-jitsu, right? I am surprised at the amount of... I just got my 4th stripe on my white belt, which is pretty freaking awesome, okay? My 4th stripe on my white belt. And I remember the first 3 or 4 months when I fractured a rib, broke a finger, pulled a bunch of intercostal muscles, just like everything was beat up. I went from a couch potato to trying to like wrestle with grown men. And it wasn't a nice start, but I stuck with it, right? Maybe it's partially out of stubbornness, partially out of like, well, I have committed to this to do it for a year at least. Okay. And I know that the hardest thing to do is to continue something when it's like not easy. Okay. Jiu-jitsu is doing something that you know you're going to suck at. Okay. And then just learning to suck at it, you know? Learning to be okay at sucking, right? Learning to be okay at getting like freaking just straight up manhandled and choked and asphyxiated and contorted, you know, and like twisted, right? And smashed and suffocated, right? You gotta be able to thrive in that situation, and it's very alarming at first, and you don't want to do it, and it's like, why am I putting myself through this? I don't need this. Like, I'm gonna go do something else, right? But the few people that stick with it, right? Anyway, I've been getting. I posted a picture of my belt with my 4 stripes. 4 stripes means that your next promotion will be a purple belt. A blue belt, right? Which, if you come from the era of like karate school and like taekwondo schools back in the day when we were young, like getting your first belt was not a big deal, right? It was like, whatever. You start your class, you go for like a couple months, and next thing you know, the instructor's like, hey, do you want to test for your first belt? And you're like, sure. You pay the money and you pass and you get your first belt. And every 3 months they're promoting you, right? You're going through like 26 belts. I don't know how many belts, but 26 sounds like a good number. But it's about getting you in the system and getting you to pay for belts and belts and belts, right? And promotions, right? And in jiu-jitsu, there's not that many belts. It's just white belt, blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, and black belt. That's it, right? So to earn a blue belt is a big deal. I'm not saying I've earned it yet, right? But I'm more on the blue belt side now than I am the beginner side, right? So, and that all came from the same idea of, you know what? I'm not going to show up to class and try to submit everybody like I'm some kind of hero. No, I'm going to show up and humbly learn what I can, do what I can with my body type and my strength level and my level of endurance and my old man body, right? Because I'm not a spring chicken, right? But do the best I can to work myself up to a place where I can consistently show up to class, not get hurt, and just commit to it, right? Commit to it. And eventually I started with 1 class a week, and I felt like I got run over by a truck every time I went. Okay? Like, I'm talking like moving around like this. If somebody made a noise over there, instead of going like this, I'd be like this. Because everything was sore and I was super stiff, right? And slow and steady, I worked it out and I got myself to two classes a week, right? And then I didn't need as much time to recover, partially because I knew how to defend myself a little bit better, partially because my body got a little bit used to it, partially because I got a little bit more hardy. I felt like my bones and like my muscles and my structure feels a little bit more stronger than when I first started, right? And then eventually I worked myself up to 3 classes a week. That's where I'm at now. At 3 classes a week now. When I first started doing 3 classes a week, I was on the brink of breaking every single time, right? I felt myself like, I could feel my tendons. Like when you're pulling on something, when you're pushing on someone, pulling on someone, and your muscles are behaving like you expect them, but your tendons are sore, that's a different kind of hurt, right? You can't really pull any pressure or push anything hard enough because you feel like your tendons are going to break. So I was at that level for like a good 3 or 4 weeks, going 3 days a week, just kind of like getting as much sleep as I could to recover fast enough to be able to go to the next class. And now, after all that work and all that slow and steady continuous gain, I feel 100% comfortable going to class 3 days a week, to the point now where I'm even considering sneaking in like an extra class, maybe like a 4th class a week every once in a while, just to kind of add more sessions to my attendance, right? But it's a matter of whether I want to do it, if I have the time to do it, not a matter of my body can't handle it, right? Which again, it shows me that all of the hours I've been putting into there, even though each individual day might suck, and each individual day I might be getting smashed by like a bigger person or a same size person with a better skill set than me, right? It doesn't matter if the individual day sucks, because I'm seeing the progress of the overall, right? I'm thinking of it long term, okay? Short term time preference is going to go that jiu-jitsu class for 1 day, get smashed, get sent back to their childhood when their older cousin or big brother was holding them down, pinned down to the floor, and they couldn't breathe. That's what's going to remind you of, and you're going to quit like a baby, right? But if you have the long-term mindset, you're going to understand that that's just the beginning. Everybody goes through that, and if you can figure out a way to get through that, it's going to help you out, not just in jiu-jitsu, but in life in general, right? So anyway, I know it's a big tangent and aside from Bitcoin, but Bitcoin teaches you kind of that same foundation financially, right? All you got to do is stack sats, okay? Take self-custody and don't touch those sats, okay? Because the longer you hold those sats, the more valuable they'll be, and the more your purchasing power is going to increase. And what is wealth but the increase of purchasing power, right? Shout out and round of applause to Camaro. Camaro Homebrewed, let's go. Nice job. Send the when the moon website again. oh yeah, I will. Let me get that for you. And then All Nighter Hider in the house. What up? Good to see you in here. Oh, nice. Okay, let me get Camaro that Wind Moon site. There it is. Mind you guys, the Wind Moon site is for entertainment purposes only. Okay. Nope, that's not it. Sorry, that's not it. Here it is. My keyboard wasn't awake. That's the one. I'll remove that one. But there it is. Go to that Wind Moon site and get yourself stoked. All right. Back to reality. I'm back from this like blackout I just had. Let's jump into the stack recap. Stack recap. Alrighty, today our stack. Wait, my message didn't send on the chat. Carlos, if you put a link in there, it might have blocked you. YouTube is weird. Last night when we were streaming about fishing, I was holding up a fish and somebody said, "Oh yeah, that's a fatty," right? And YouTube blocked them for saying fatty in the chat, you know, because YouTube's like, "Hey, don't hurt that fish's feelings." Oh, my bad. All right, cool. All right, boys. So today we're up about 23%, even though Bitcoin is dropping. It doesn't matter, okay? We're seeing these drops as buying opportunities, which is exactly what they are. Here we go. Over the span of the whole show, we're still up 66%. So today, while the sats are cheap, we're going to buy some. We're going to buy $20 worth of Bitcoin today for the regular stack. And for the 100 stacks challenge, we have the option of buying line numbers. Oh, did I not populate this already? God dang it. Let me see. Give me a second. 65. Oh, yeah. I should have done this offline, guys. Today we're buying line 64 or line 12. Those are the options. Okay. All right. So now that we know what our potential buys will be today, let's get that set up. And there's only one thing left to do, and that is it's time to stack some sats. All right, here we go. This one even working today? It is. All right, today we're gonna buy $20 worth of Bitcoin just for our regular DCA. Okay, so we'll preview this. Preview. Boom. All right, coming back to the browser. All right, here we go. Time to make this purchase. We're buying $20 worth of Bitcoin today for the Stack Sats Show DCA bag. Dollar cost average bag. Today on episode 206 of the Sats Show. And just like that, did it happen? Did it happen? There it is. We stacked an additional 307 Satoshis on that buy thanks to no fees for the next 10,000 or your first $10,000 worth of Bitcoin here on swan.com or swanbitcoin.com. If you want to stack with us and get an additional $10 in $10 worth of Bitcoin when you start making purchases on Swan, check out my affiliate link. You're going to get an extra $10 worth of Bitcoin when you start stacking. In addition to what we said are the no fees for the first $10,000 worth of purchases or the next $10,000 worth of purchases if you're already a customer. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's very nice of them. Okay, in addition to that, the withdrawals from them to your cold storage are not only encouraged, but they're fee free. They cover the cost of the Bitcoin network transaction fees. It's pretty damn awesome. So in essence, every single cent that you're putting into Bitcoin right now through the Swan app until you hit that $10,000 mark is 100% Bitcoin, like in your wallet, right? So it adds up. Okay, it adds up. These extra sats are remember, in the year 2036, when the reward halving goes to 1 Satoshi per block, right? I think someone figured out the calculations the other day. I can't remember off the top of my head. But when the whole, there's 10 blocks every, there's a block every 10 minutes, right? So 24 hours times 60 minutes equals 1,440 minutes divided by 10 equals 144 blocks per day. So each block is going to have a reward of 1 Satoshi, right? 144 Satoshis per day. Okay? And look at, we stacked with Swan and we got, what was our extra? Oh, I missed it. Anyway, we got like however many Satoshis we got would have been the equivalent of, in the year 2134, getting a whole day's worth of mining rewards. Can you imagine what the price is going to be of those Satoshis that we just didn't have to spend in fees? It's pretty wild. Carlos Jaramillo says we just did a massive stack. Let's go, baby. I thank you. Your descendants thank you. It's going to be good. It's fantastic. Guys, the Discord is getting pretty good. I must say, I appreciate you guys sharing your ideas in there. And we are having some pretty good time in there. We're talking about mining from the sun and like different little setups and lottery miners like this one. Right? It's upside down. There it is. And different little setups, hobby mining, talking about mining pools and lottery mining, how that stuff works. If you want to talk Bitcoin, that's where we're at, guys. It doesn't have to be on the show. You can just go in there and ask questions, and I'm gonna do my best to make sure that there's nobody in there trying to like scam you, right? I will never DM you directly to try to sell you anything or get you to join some kind of some kind of group through Discord. Okay, if I ask you to do something, it'll be here live during the show, and I'll have a specific link for that thing I'm asking you to do. Okay, so don't get scammed. But you should join our Discord. You can check it out. Let me see, Discord. I'm gonna put a Discord link in the chat. And yeah, it's starting to see some life in there. It's starting to get good. Okay. All right. So let's do this poll to see if today we're gonna buy the $64 line. Wait, did we already buy Bitcoin? Yeah, we did. Today, if we're gonna buy the $64 line or the $12 line. What is it? Browse. I need to update this with yesterday's buy was at 65. Today we have a 64 or a 12. Let me do this poll. So here, 12, 64. 100 stacks by amount. All right, there's the poll. Let the people decide while I put on the chill music because we already stacked our main stack. Oh, do we have a double stream going? Ah. How is that possible? Oh, did they create another this? Let me see. Oh, interesting. Oh my gosh, that sucks. Why would it do that? Okay, I'm gonna end the other stream. Hopefully it doesn't die. Okay. Sorry guys. Go to the other stream if you're watching the one that says Roman Stack Sats live stream. Go to the other one that says Bitcoin only for or own nothing. Okay. Sorry guys. Gee, are we still here? Yes. That's weird. Yeah, the computer didn't like that I was starting a stream. I probably started broadcasting before it had a chance to get created. That's weird. Interesting. I'm gonna go completely delete that right now, real quick. I was like, why'd you guys ditch me? There we go. Delete forever. I understand. Delete it forever. Okay. Now, what up, everybody? Welcome. Sorry if you missed the beginning. I went rant crazy. I'm sorry I missed everybody's chat on the other stream. Welcome to this stream. It was just the error in the system. The matrix glitch. They're trying to keep you from listening to the signal. All right. If you're coming through, go ahead and vote. Are we buying the $64 stack today or the $12 stack today? You got 3 votes coming in so far. We'll wait for some more people to come in. As you come in, do me a favor and smack the like button and vote if you think we should do the $12 buy or the $64 buy. What up, Garrett? Welcome. We're doing the poll right now to see if which stack we should buy. Okay. Doing the poll. I even forgot to turn my background lights on. I was outside doing some gardening, and I got in a fight with with some hedges. So I had to pull out the clippers, and it was full-on battle. I looked at the time. I had 30 minutes. When I looked at the time. I looked at the time again. I had 10 minutes. And I looked at the time again. And it was 1 minute. And I was like, oh. All right. So $12 or $64 for today's 100 stacks challenge. If you're new around here and you don't know what the 100 stacks challenge is, I'll explain it real quick. It's just a fun way to start stacking sats in a challenge format. It's inspired by the 100 envelopes challenge on TikTok. This is the 100 stacks challenge. Instead of stuffing cash into envelopes like a Neanderthal, you can stack sats in your cold wallet and watch the savings grow over time instead of devalue as you're saving them. I mean, so far, holding cash would have been better. But we're not done with the challenge yet. The 100 days are not up yet. It's going to take about 3 months and 10 days. If you save that much cash, if you do each line, you would have saved $5,095. But if you save it in Bitcoin, let's see what you can end up with as far as value goes. Okay. Right now we're down minus 5%. So it's not a good example, but we're in Bitcoin for the long term. Okay. And so let's see what happens with this stack. Okay. All right. There it is. Oh man. Okay. So it looks like we're going to do the $12 stack today. Okay. Okay. Even though Bitcoin's a little bit down. All right. You bears. What is this? Got a bunch of bears in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? You think Bitcoin's going to go down further and we're going to get a better buy-in? Or you think Bitcoin's going to keep going up forever? All right. I'm going to end the poll now. And the people have spoken. We're going to do a $12 buy today because the people want a $12 buy. So I have no choice. This show is for fun. And as an example of what could happen when you start saving in Bitcoin. And for the 100 stacks challenge today, we're going to do a $12 buy. Okay. Browse. There it is. I just did 76 for my 100 days challenge. Send it. 12 bucks. That's Paul. All right. There it is. Let me get the preview of this buy. Monstrous buy. Oh my gosh. There it is. It seems it seems like it's not enough. All right, here we go. We're making the buy. $12 buy coming in with 0 fees. Let's see. How many additional Satoshis did we get by not paying the fees? And how many days worth of mining in 2134 is that going to be? It's more than a whole day's worth of mining. See? We saved. We're able to stack 184 more Satoshis, right? And remember, the whole reward for the epoch where in 2134 or 2136, something like that, the final reward is going to be 1 Satoshi per block at 1 block every 10 minutes, right? That's 144 Satoshis. If somehow you're able to win every single block that day, you'll get 144 Satoshis as a reward. And right now in this simple stack, we saved 184 Satoshis, right? 40 more Satoshis than you need than you would get if you were to win all the blocks for one day in 2136. It's pretty cool. Okay, so don't sleep on those 184 Satoshis. It seems like it's not that much today, right? But to your descendants, to the people that will inherit your wealth, that 184 Satoshis is significant. Okay, so take advantage of getting no fees. You know, stack it up. Stack it up. All right. So that is the final purchase of the day. Let's jump into the Q&A segment because we still got some time. Okay. If you guys have any questions, put it in the chat. If you haven't already, do me a favor and hit subscribe. See my little guy there. Subscribe. Hit that like button. And yeah, that's the show for today. If I don't see any questions pop up, I'm just gonna wrap it up. Okay, send it. 12 bucks. Okay, I did get it with a $76 stack today. Ooh, nice. Nice, very nice. Carlos, $12, let's go. Okay, good. Okay. Carlos did a massive stack today. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's a good time to stack always. All right. So, just like that, after we'll get ready for round 2 with the bush. Actually, I have to get ready for class. Maybe one day you should talk about privacy. All right, Carlos, we can do privacy next week. Actually, what's today? Today's Wednesday? We could probably do privacy tomorrow or Friday. I'll start looking into it. I understand most of it, but I have to review it so I get all the points. And we'll talk about privacy. We'll talk about UTXOs and how they affect privacy and all that stuff. And we'll do a review on that. Maybe tomorrow or Friday, okay? All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. But remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Later, guys. Bye.